Before broadband, before social media, before your dad had even heard of the internet, there was Wireheads. Written by Mark Isles with art by Mike Hadley, Wireheads debuted in Prog 803 in 1992, and it's safe to say that it didn't exactly receive the most rapturous of welcomes from the readership. This was the age when the film industry's rush to cash in on the new exciting internet was matched only by its desire to ignore the realities of it. For example, waiting half an hour for your parents' dial-up to download anything larger than a few kilobytes. For every lawnmower man and hackers there was the net, and Wireheads is mostly an exercise in puns based off the latest issue of PC Magazine. A cybernetic thriller series, Wireheads is set in a future where the internet has evolved into a vast virtual reality landscape called paraspace, where you can get and do pretty much anything. Book a flight or fight a war. So, pretty much like the internet now, just without the virtual reality. And while you're immersed in this online world, you do have to make sure your body is in a safe place, especially if you're engaged in unsavoury or illegal activity. For all of its Dali-esque flair, Hadley's art style portrays this world as slightly unatmospheric, and the crazier aspects of the strip get lost in the noodling, and the lack of contrast between the real and the virtual worlds means the already slightly complex stories get lost. It's a strip that wears its influences on its sleeve, from William Gibson's cyberpunk to a touch of J.G. Ballard's dystopianism, and Isles peppered his scripts with, at the time, fresh ideas. Even now there are dozens of comics that deal with exactly the same concepts and conceits, but Wirehead's greatest crime is its liberal, almost pathological use of buzzwords. Don't get me wrong, in the early 1990s the concept of virtual reality was very exciting, but paraspace manages to feel curiously low-tech. What we have here is a very early attempt by two talented creators to make something out of the internet, but while the central idea was there, they didn't quite pull it off. The already commissioned spin-off series Parasites wouldn't see print for another 3 years, and then only because editorial was forced to run material that had been paid for, regardless of quality. It should come as no surprise that Wireheads has never been collected, so you will need to read the original Progs. Well, it wasn't well received at the time, but let's know what you think about Wireheads in the comments on Facebook and YouTube Earthlets, as next week we encounter a new fantasy realm with Witch World.